Hey, what is up everybody? Blades for here, and today I have for you guys another video of Persona 5X. Inside today's video, guys, we're going to be doing a little bit of SOS here, trying to see if we can rank a little bit higher. And this is going to be kind of a scuffed run because certain things I do remember on how I want to do this, certain things I don't. So we're going to try and at least do the best that we can with at least the knowledge that I do remember. Now, one of the few things that I wanted to at least go about and talk about before, of course, we do this is right before the video, I was doing some testing with the friend old Earphone, who was helping me out with the SOS side of things here. And after just doing a little bit of SOS, or at least just doing that and getting the 4-star weapon for Ryuji, I decided to do 2 more at least multis and see what I would end up getting. Well, out of the multis I ended up doing on the weapons, that's where I was been just like investing a lot of my tools into, I managed to come out on top with not just 1 5-star weapon, being at least Ryuji's weapon here, but 2 5-star weapons, being Rin's weapon as well. So we got them back to back very early here, which is very good for us because really the only thing that I'm looking to pretty much get is kind of Okion's phone, even though it's not really necessary. I am tempted to try and get that actual weapon as well. So we do have a couple things that are actually doing really good, and we're going to see if we can do even better. But now we got that out the way, let's see if we can score a little bit better here. Now, we don't have any of our characters built. I have no intentions on actually putting good artifacts on my characters to score any higher. So we're gonna at least utilize our teams accordingly and see what we can get done. Now, I'm currently using this team here because I don't have Riddle. So we are using Tomoko for at least this whole deal. We're gonna see what we can really do. Now, the way I want to go about this is going to be very interesting. If we end up having debuffs on the allies on the outsides, we're going to go ahead and not attack them. Though if we don't have any debuffs on the allies on the outside or the enemies on the outside, then we're going to go ahead and give them a couple attacks and try to focus them down. But I haven't used my character ever since I got the 5-star weapon, which literally happened a few minutes ago. I think you guys are going to see this on Tuesday, but man, this is going to be awesome. It's just going to be awesome. So what I'm gonna try and do is get some damage off. We're gonna go ahead and utilize our skill, or at least our Joker hit, and get as much damage off as possible and try our hardest to do whatever we can. Now, for at least everything that we do need to do here, I would like to make sure we have our actual buffs in order. So we're gonna go ahead and super buff our man Joker and get him all prepped up here. With this in mind, I'm gonna go ahead and use the skill 2, build as many of these green leaves up as possible, and try our hardest to pretty much get as much damage in as possible. Now with this, we're probably going to kill, so let's just go ahead and utilize our skill 3. And I think this is the best thing that we can go ahead and do, putting us in our little form, and we can get a ton of damage off of this. And then we're going to pop off our skill 3 once again, just to make sure we're getting as much damage as possible. Hopefully you guys have been having an amazing time while doing this here as well. Hopefully it's been great, but it's going to be kind of interesting to see what we're going to end up doing. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to try our best to, I guess you could say, do as much as possible here. So we only have how many stacks? We have, actually, I don't even think we have full stacks on our character just yet. So, we will have to check this. We will have to check this. If I'm right, we're going to lose 2 seashells, and I don't think we have any seashell built yet here. So what I'm tempted to do is we're going to go ahead and use our skill 1. Just get at least the shields up and slowly build up seashells. So currently we are sitting at how many seashells? We need 2, if I'm correct. We are sitting at 1 seashell, and we're going to try and get at least 2 of these guys up before we utilize our skill 3 here. Now, I want to save our highlight for the second round, so we're not going to really attack with that. And let's go ahead and just focus down everything using our skill 3 once again, dealing some decent damage. And we'll be able to use our actual skill 3, our skill 2, and our highlight the next round. So decent damage here, got 170, not too bad here. Since there are no actual debuffs on the enemy, what we're gonna go ahead and do is attack with our man Joker, get some extra damage off. And then I'm going to attack with our girl, being Rin, getting as much damage off as possible. And then I think the only best choice is to attack with Wonder, because Wonder should be able to knock him down, and we could possibly get the kill with Moko, which is all we really do need here. So get the knockdown, of course, and then we're going to go ahead and pop off with the skill 4, getting the kill. Now, we did get a little bit of a debuff there, but I don't think that debuff is going to proc too much or matter too much. So I think we should be good. So everyone's getting a little bit of hits, getting some knocks in right now, but I think we're looking pretty decent. Right, overall, we shouldn't have too much of a problem. What I want to do is I want to pop off our highlight after we end up debuffing here. But it's going to be kind of interesting how we do this here. So what we're going to do, actually, let's just go ahead and pop it now. We have to make sure we have everything perfect, and we want to see if we can get all the highlight energy back before the end of this. So let's go ahead and pop it, get the kills off, get as much damage off as possible. And I would like to say, if we can do this correctly, we should be fine. So once again, we're gonna go ahead and kill everything in here, and this should set us up for a good little run. Now, this run is not fully optimal, at least in my aspect here. I feel like I possibly can already set this up a little bit better if I decided to actually do and pay attention correctly with this one. But I think if we can get artifacts, we might be even better, but I'm just trying not to hardcore focus on artifacts just yet. So let's just go ahead and pop this. Probably should have used that on the other enemy there, but this should be fine. We're gonna go ahead and use our skill 1, get a defense decrease. No one's dead, which is perfectly fine for us. We don't want to kill anyone on the outsides here. Killing these dudes might be a little bit of a problem, so we don't want to do any of that here. And then for this, I could very well kill, but I don't really want to do that. We do need to go ahead and one of them are going to die, which is a little bit of a problem, but we need to try and at least get a shock on one person, which luckily we ended up getting a shock on one person. Nothing too bad. What I could possibly do, because I only have 4 green leaves and it lasts for 2 whole turns, so we can actually leave that alone. And I think our best bet is to probably attack, but I don't really want the chance of possibly killing. So let's just go ahead and pop this off again, get the refresh. I think what we're going to try to do is just continuously pop off the skill 2. I don't really see a need of attacking with her, because at that point we might end up getting kills and no one wants kills there. So let's go ahead and use our skill 3. This should be more than enough for damage. Boom, get the extra damage off here, and then we should be able to get the straight up just nice attack in afterwards to get us some nice points here. So let's go ahead and pop off this again, get another kill. 11k right there, which is actually looking pretty decent. And then we're gonna go ahead and use our 3rd skill here as well. Hopefully you guys have actually been having a good time with SOS just so far. This is the first dip into like actual grindy type stuff inside of this game here. So for a lot of people who are really tryharding for it, don't worry. This is something that's going to be normal. You're going to get used to it to an extent, and I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be perfectly fine with this. Now, this is on the 3rd round, so we're going to go ahead and pop this off here. I think we might kill the one at the very right, which is going to suck here as well. Oh, we killed all of them, so yeah, that does kind of suck here, but we still got the extra amount of damage, which is going to be mainly on the boss themselves. So I don't think it should be too much of a problem. Let's go ahead and kill this off again, see if we can get some more damage in. Which, ooh, 14. Okay, lovely. We can continuously, I feel like, kill these guys off correctly. We might be pretty much fine here. So let's go ahead and get some more attacks off. And let's see. This shouldn't kill, but let's go ahead and pop this off anyways. Cool. And then now we can go ahead and focus down on another AoE attack, which is going to be amazing. So decent damage off of this, and we get another rotation of just follow-up attacks, which, geez, only if we had our characters built a little bit, we would be way higher than what we are now. But I say we're doing not too bad, to be honest. A lot of us are doing pretty decent, and I feel like we can just continue doing what we're doing right now. We should be pretty much good. Our next highlight should be available around the next turn if we're quick enough with it. So I think I'm going to be okay, but we do have to try and check because our highlight energy is fairly low here, so we'll have to see what happens. Let's go ahead and use this. Boss attack left, whatevs. Go ahead and let him do whatever he needs to do. We're still looking pretty darn good, and I think we still only have 2 seashells, so, or at least 1 seashell, so we do need to do this one more time. This builds us up another seashell immediately. meaning now we have 2, so we can finally utilize our 3rd skill if I'm correct here. Let's go ahead and use our Mumbo Soup. Ooh, nice knockdown. So we don't want to kill everyone just yet. I will kill this one on the right, and we're gonna try and focus them down. But everyone else who's down, we need to try and keep those guys a little bit alive till Joker appears mainly. So just go ahead and continue hitting the one on the right. Stay away from anyone on the at least left right now and see what we can really do. So let's do this. We Rebellion the first round, and then we immediately used Succubus our first round we used Rebellion for Succubus. Second round we ended up using this. So we actually might have used our Ren highlight maybe just a wee bit early here, which might suck, but who knows. I think we should be pretty much okay. Our next one for what I want to do is gonna primarily, I think this might end up killing, so I'm kind of afraid to use it. I'm trying to at least save some of this, because if we kill here it might be a problem, but let's go ahead and try. Use our skill 1. Yeah, we got the kill there, unfortunately, which does kind of suck here, because I kind of wanted to save those for at least Joker, seeing that he does have the most damage out of that, but unfortunately that's the case. So let's go ahead and kill the one on the far left. Boom. And let's see if we could possibly make up for some of our downfall there. We shouldn't have killed there. I was hoping that our Wonder was a wee bit weaker, just a wee bit weaker, but unfortunately it looked like we did too much damage there. So let's go ahead and pop off with Wonder once again. He should be able to kill here, or at least get low. Cool. And then from here on, I think I can just go ahead and might just let the DOT kill it. So you know what, let's just go ahead and kill it. Put it out of its misery for that one, get the extra damage there, and be able to get some points off of it. Now for this one here, we're gonna go ahead and pop off with the skill 2 once again. Just keep refreshing, keep him as high as possible when it comes down to his health. And then with this in mind, we're gonna go ahead and use Wonder's highlight, which is going to be on the ground. We used our Succubus first round. We then proceeded to use our dude second round. We could very well just pop a Wonder highlight now, which would be very helpful. But it is mainly, it's gonna help us out, I guess, in the increased damage side of things. So let's go ahead and pop his highlight here. And the only reason I'm gonna do this instead of actually buffing with our Wonder is because I'm mainly just gonna try and test this to see if this is gonna be a wee bit better. So go ahead and get the kill off here. Since we don't have a knockdown, we get the easy kill, get some easy points immediately. And I feel like we might be able to hit maybe 1.4, 1.5 if we play things correctly here. So let's see what we can do. Let's go ahead and move on to this. That should deal a decent amount of damage. And since everyone is now debuffed, we're not trying to kill it. So let's go ahead and pop this off on the main boss. And then I can go ahead and pop off this, which should deal enough to kill everybody. Cool. Decent amount of damage. Everything did about 17k, 14k. 14k. Are we looking? Yeah, 14k. So average of 14k right then and there, which isn't really bad. Let's see if we can get some more damage off here. Boom. Okay, that's looking nice. We're slowly going up that amount. It is kind of saddening though that we're not hardcore hitting damage though, because of course of how our Joker's built, but we're still doing pretty decent. So let's go ahead and get the follow-ups again. I think it's just really rinse and repeat if I'm correct. I'm pretty sure we should be pretty much fine gaining these last few because we still have 3 extra turns. So I'm really not too worried at this point. I think we're pretty much good when it's regarding everything like that. So we get the defense down, then we won't kill it. Let's go ahead and pop this off. Actually, we might as well kill it because we have to set up for our Rin once again here. So get the kill off and get ready for setting up with Rin. Now we're gonna go ahead and rinse and repeat this whole process here, where we're gonna use our actual setups first, making sure we have everyone looking good. So skill 1, popping this off correctly. Since they are all weak, we're not going to hit them at all. I think our best bet is just go ahead and get as much of our buffs back as possible. Rebellion up, making sure we have this for the 3 turns. And then our next thing that we could possibly do, this is our kind of our DPS round, if I'm correct. So let's see, how many do we need here? If we lose out on 2 shells. Damage increase 3 turns or until shield is destroyed, then lose 2 whole turns. So we need 4 shells for the actual increase. So what I'm thinking, guys, is we need to go ahead and because we only have 2 whole turns left. What I'm tempted to do is we use our skill 2, and I'll let everyone pretty much stay no upgrades right now. So we'll use our skill 2. And then from here, seeing we have 2 more seashells, we'll use our skill 3 next round. So now that that's actually settled, what I think I'm going to do here is we need Joker's highlight on the last round. So I feel like if we actually go ahead and pop this, we should be able to get it back again. So let's go ahead and pop this immediately. And then we're going to go ahead and pop this here. And we're going to try and set up as much as possible for that final round. Everyone should pretty much be good, so I don't really have to worry about much here. And let's use our skill 3. Make sure we get some decent damage off. Gets us to how much off this? That was 20k right there, another 20k right there again, 20k again, and then 20k. Okay, so overall looking pretty decent. Let's just go ahead and attack. Get as many kills off as possible. So we have to slowly incrementally get up these points, which is pretty much good for us. I really do think we're kind of on a good track, but I feel like we could possibly be better. So we need to check around and see what we really can do after this, if it does end up working out. I'm gonna go ahead and kill this one off, even if we get the defense down, because it's just not going to be useful for us. We're gonna end up killing it anyways. Ren. And then let's go ahead and get that extra attack off, which is going to allow us to deal a little bit more damage as well. Boom. All right, and I think we're slowly set up for the next round, if I'm right, because the next few actions we should be able to set up our final hit with our puppet and pretty much have everyone in good lights. So go ahead and pop this off. We will need to use our Zeo, which is gonna be, I feel like that one's the most shaky because I don't want to possibly kill the mobs, and most likely they could end up dying towards our Wonder. So that's going to be a little bit of a shaky cause there, because I feel like if we end up killing it with Wonder, we're in trouble, especially with the extra damage that we now have on our Ren. We might be in trouble, so we don't want to kill with Wonder. I think that might just be a good choice not to attack. Depending on how much damage we deal with the skill 3 here will depend if we attack with Wonder. Oh yeah, no, we're not attacking with Wonder. That will actually get these guys killed. So yeah, let's go ahead, and what I could possibly do is, instead of doing that, we're going to use a skill 1 here, and hopefully we can inflict a shock, because that's really what we need to do. So hopefully these guys can actually be affected by a shock here. And I think what I can possibly do here as well, see if we can get it right. Okay, shock is now on. Let's go ahead and pop off. Go ahead and pop this off as well. I've already used our Wonders highlight before, so pop this off for the extra damage. 74, 42, 41. Looking really good on damage right now. And then let's go ahead and pop this off as well. Get some decent damage in. And then now that we're here, we could possibly get it off. But I think our puppet, unfortunately, we won't be able to get the extra damage off on her because of the amount of actions that we do need, which does kind of suck. I thought we did it just in time, but it seems like we were a little bit too late on doing it. We popped it way too late. So it does kind of suck. If anything, I feel like we should have did it just a wee bit earlier that would have been able to get us the seashells that we needed, at least for the final rounds. So a little unfortunate on that, but I think we're still higher than normal. I think our highest we hit was 1.4 mil. We're now at 1.5, so that's not really that bad. And let's just go ahead and see what we can get hit. All right, deal some good damage there, and then we get our extra turn here. So all right, extra turn, I can see maybe 1.6 mil is possible. Can we get it? Let's go. Okay, we got it. All right, lovely damage right there, getting us 1.6 mil right here, and I feel like we're pretty much all good. Let's go ahead and get the kill off. Only 2 can actually be killed with this, so it would have been awesome if we were actually on our curse, what's it called, our actual curse persona for Wonder, but unfortunately we aren't. So just get the damage off here, deal whatever we can, and get up those good old. So 1.6 mil, not bad. We could definitely do better if we had better gear, but I would say not bad at all. All right, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do smash that like button beforehand and consider subscribing if you are new. Do daily videos on Persona, and we're only going to continue doing more. Peace out.